everybody. We are back on Spaces for what seems to be an interesting Sunday all of a sudden. I'm not sure what's going on here. Finding out all sorts of different things when I logged on. I haven't been on in a minute. What's up, George? All right, get George in here as a co-host. Where the hell did he go? He was just there. I don't know what the hell's going on with this whole Karrion Kross situation. I'm trying to catch up there. Got the ESPN stuff to talk about. Where the hell did George go? He was there and now he's gone. Oh, George. Hopefully he wasn't eating his microphone again. So what is this stuff about Karrion Kross? It's his last day? I don't know. All right. I thought it was a work. I definitely thought that was more of a work than anything. George, where are you? Fuck did he do? Can't take him anywhere. Yeah, no. So apparently this was Karrion Kross's last day. I had no idea. Oh man. All right, here, get ourselves set. I don't know where the hell George is. And him leaving me hanging, bro. At least try to give him his show notes. There he is. Good Lord. Oh man. How you doing, George? You okay now?
That was weird.
What's up? What happened? You were there.
And you hear a little thing moving under your.
Oh, what's up? Oh, I see.
A little, all the sound thing moving under your name, but I couldn't hear anything.
No, I get you. No, that was I got scared because literally as I clicked approve, you left. I'm like, oh fuck, did I click the wrong button?
No, I just came back.
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. You are good. You got any show notes or anything you wanted to cover in here?
I just got done 2 minutes ago watching all 5 episodes of Unreal.
Nice. Awesome.
Liked
We will
it.
have to do it. Yeah. That's fun, right?
Yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting.
That's, it wasn't initially for me either until as I started watching, I realized that it's just like their version of all those sports shows that they do like that, like the quarterback show or hell, even like Hard Knocks. Like really it's an inside, so there's enough inside baseball for the hardcore fans.
Which the Buffalo Bills are on this one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's always fun when it's your team. Well, as long as they're good. It's bad when your team sucks.
Yeah.
My soccer team had one year in one of our worst seasons ever. It started out okay, and then it goes bad. Oh, it's tough to watch.
It was fun.
But I feel like it's one of those things that the idea is it gets people in who aren't normal fans. Like you could see how it would get like people who don't normally watch or wouldn't, whatever. It's one of those, it's kind of like the Total Divas show or whatever that you hear how many people or how many ladies especially got them into wrestling at all. It's that other side. Like it's enough for us who are fans anyway. And I thought it was done very well in that, but you can tell how, at least from my perspective, I feel like a lot of people who watched that would be like, well shit, I'd watch Raw or
what I liked about it the most was I have a thing for watching, like one of my favorite things ever was watching when CM Punk debuted in AEW and they showed the production team behind the scenes. I love really that behind the scenes stuff when you see the director and camera cuts and all that. That's one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah. No, that
I
was
really enjoyed
good.
That.
Yeah. And like, and even honestly, the one they did, the WWE did one too with his comeback there when like Bruce Pritchard was walking him back and stuff. Like any of that stuff's cool.
Yeah, it was nice. It was fun.
Yeah, it gives you an insight. But I just thought like there was definitely that point where I could see how, especially with who they chose, like with Punk and Charlotte and Cody, like I could see how people could really connect with one of those people, like as a regular real person and as a character too, and be like, okay, I could watch this, especially like international viewers where everything's on Netflix, like WrestleMania's already there. They can watch it. It's right there. And I could see that.
Yeah, it wasn't hard though. I mean, it's really easy to find. Even.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I definitely,
So
they probably renewed a season.
Oh yeah, I can see why.
Right?
Yeah, it was good. It was no problem. I was like I said, it wasn't what I was expecting. And when I got into it and watched all 5 this afternoon. So.
It goes, all of a sudden it goes quick. Yeah, I realized I was like starting the 4th episode. I'm like, oh shit. Oh, okay. Yeah. Cause it flows really well. I'm also wondering if maybe that they have some stuff filmed for other people going into WrestleMania, and they might be able to have that too. Like that, maybe they'll do like a season 1.5 or something. Cause
maybe
it's so easy to film all that stuff.
Yeah, I would think they want to get past that now and move into some current
I would
shit.
think so. But you never know. It just depends on how much they do. I mean, it could also be something that they do, that they film kind of constantly, and you get 5 episodes every 3 or 4 months or something too.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So what I've kind of learned doing the show is I'm kind of like for September, I'm kind of looking for like 2 guests a month. I think is the way to go here. Cause I kind of like doing these freestyle shows. They're kind of fun.
For sure.
And, I really don't want to shoot everything off right off the bat like I did
That's the other thing too. Yeah.
I really came out strong and I was like, oh shit.
Well, we had to get our name out there, kind of get people into. Yeah, I get that. As we grow, the availability of possible guests will get bigger and bigger. But yeah, you don't want to right now. Like, all right, we did 3 guests a week, 3 guests a month. What about the next month? We'll see.
Yeah. So I realized that at the beginning of the month. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should slow down a little bit. But contacts have all been made, so September is going to be September, October, November are going to be cool. Nice. Let me just tell you that.
All right, fun.
Now, with all that being said, next week we will have Robert, the old wrestling head, will be joining us. So
nice, the wrestling old head. Yeah, all right, that's cool. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun.
He calls me Mr. Captor in the DMs. I'm like, dude.
He's kind of you can see why I clicked with him so well at different points. Like we're very similar. That he's a smart guy, and not a dick. Rule number 1, dude, don't be a dickhead. So.
It's just weird. It's just, I told him, I go, dude, it's George. Relax with the Mr. Captor crap, will ya?
That'll be fun. Cool. Awesome. All right. Looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Sweet. I'll make us up a nice little thumbnail. We'll start to get that rolling. Sweet. All right. Well, we do have a few people that want to come in. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we start bringing some people in?
Oh, I also went through the ESPN thing. That was really easy though.
I know.
I feel my whole take on it was I understand why people freaked out. I do, because they really didn't unravel it the right way.
Which actually,
I'm looking at it going, okay, it's $30. That's all you see. And once you start breaking it down, I mean, it's very simple.
Well,
and then I was worried because YouTube TV wouldn't be on there, and then they're on there. So I'm like, oh, who cares? It's nothing extra. It's zero.
It's a non-story that, of course, the IWC people had to blow it up, and they didn't even read, like, everybody's tweets where they wanted to be fucking cool and coy, like, oh, you're going to pay $30.
No, but I understood that because they didn't say everything. Yeah. They just kind of threw it out there at you, and it looks like $30 extra. That's what it looked like. I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah, but doesn't for the, well, I saw some people thinking they were going to do the UFC model with the pay-per-views. The people that just,
they could have done that. They could have. And they didn't.
They could have. And that's smart enough to realize what the model, cause honestly, I used to be a bigger UFC fan, or watch it at least not all the time, but occasionally of stuff. And then when they switched over to that model, it's like, well, I'm never going to pay for all of that, especially like at that time I lived alone. I'm like, I'm not. Yeah, no, but, we got, we'll bring in Chris Connor on here because I know he's covered some stuff about it and talked about it on his show. So somebody who's knowledgeable on the topic.
And then I checked when I checked my ESPN app on my TV.
Yeah.
All you do is click it and then hit support or whatever it's called on there, and you can add it right there. You can see it.
And aren't they going to do isn't the app? They're doing a new app too, aren't they? I thought that was the whole thing. It's a new
part of the ESPN. It's part of the ESPN thing. It's super easy.
Yeah, that's what
if I can figure things out.
That's true.
Seriously.
Litmus test. No, seriously. If you can figure it out in the technology side of it, yeah, exactly. No, you're right. If you can do it, anybody can do it. That's what, it's one of those things too that I think there's an issue where the people I think that are freaking out more of it are people that aren't regular sports fans and they wouldn't subscribe to it anyway. And it just seems like so much extra to them. But when you break it down, especially since a lot of the apps are changing and like combining. I know like Hulu's going
it's called
away.
Cable 2.0 is what it's called.
It really is, dude. It really is. Chris, what's up? How you doing, buddy?
Even if you don't have any of the TV services like DirecTV or YouTube.
I do not.
Okay, which is fine. I forgot what I was going to say.
If they don't have TV, what? Like those people are going
VPNs.
Yes.
VPNs, if you're paying by the month, they're like $14.95. They're relatively expensive, but if you buy them for like 6 months at a pop, they're $7.
Yeah. Oh, I know. There's a couple of
expensive.
them. No, because I looked into it initially with the Netflix deal because I wasn't sure what we were going to do. Then I just looked into it. I didn't make any. I probably ended up getting Netflix anyway with it, where we re-upped our Netflix. But I looked into it. A lot of them, you can do like 2 or 3 year plans. I forget which one. I wish I knew. I'd plug them and try to get them as
Nord.
Yeah, I think it might have been. It was Nord or one. There's 2 that you see a lot of, but it was basically, if you did the 3-year plan, it was like $3 a month or $3.45. Like it's stupid cheap. And I mean,
and I won't, I don't like to promote other people, but if you go to Solid Monster, he's got the Express VPN thing and get 4 months for free.
Is the other one. Yeah.
He gets 4 months for free.
Yeah.
With you using his code. So, I mean, Jesus, come on. It's not bad.
That was the other thing I was going to say. I mean, with enough of the sponsorships that you see, because a lot of people, that's their deal where you get X amount of time for free or X amount of, or the discounted price. You just switch emails account, you get it knocking around for a good while.
Yeah, it's good. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It all works out in the end.
Yeah.
With WWE, you seem to have to be patient to actually pay attention to what they actually do. And then once you get all the information, you're fine.
People pay attention. That's a good one. That's funny.
Well, that's how I went into it.
No, I know. I'm with you. I just, unfortunately, we are in a society of glancers, and they just assume right from the beginning that they know all by glancing at, the headline and maybe the first paragraph, maybe sometimes, not usually though.
So I don't know why they rolled it out the way they did though, but whatever.
I just think that's just like whoever your marketing or advert, whatever type of team ran that. Too many people in one, like in a boardroom that you put them together. You know what I mean? Like you just put
it just seemed like it was rushed. I'm like, Jesus. Yeah. At least tell people what the hell they're getting. Excuse me.
Yeah. Ooh. No, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not, and I don't know, it's not that surprising either in the sense of it. Like, it really, like, as we've seen with what WWE is trying to do. I mean, they like to cover as many bases as they can, at least for the U.S. Like, it's almost easier in the international market because you're still kind of breaking into those in certain levels of it, of just everything's on Netflix. You can get it all here. And then maybe they'll start spreading out in a few years after that deal, expires or whatever. But in the U.S., they want to, it's like Godfather 2 with the black head where he's got his finger in each little pie, just a little bit here, a little bit. We've got something on broadcast. We've got something on cable. We've got something with the biggest streamer here. We've got something with the sports, what looks like will be the biggest live sports streamer here. Like and
I didn't know that the NFL was involved in this too. And the NFL's got a big piece of this too.
That doesn't surprise me. Well, yeah, because the ESPN has been like, because what they're having, I mean, to use wrestling parlance, they're having like pillars, right? Because it's the NFL.
But they're giving
something else, isn't it? What's the other?
They're giving people the red zone for free with this too. So that's one of the big things for fantasy players, in case you're wondering.
Oh yeah. Oh no, for sure. I understand. I'm not a fan. I'm not somebody who does it myself, but I get it. I've worked in enough offices and been around people. Anytime I've worked in an office and there's been a fantasy football, I've done it just because why not? But
the guys at work are all like 26, 25, 24 years old. I'm 59, obviously. They asked me to join their league a couple years back thinking I'd be the sucker of the league. I've won it twice and finished second both times. So, I know what I'm doing.
George Belichick over here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. I'm just not, the whole thing is, that's why like, we could have like recorded and I thought about recording and what are we going to talk about? It's very cut and dry and not surprising. And really, because I see people like I listened to or heard a few different podcasts, people wanting to talk about the story behind there's outrage. Like, is there really outrage or is the same like 12 people who get outraged about everything? This is just, they were just outraged about Brock and then that was winding down and now they're outraged about this and they'll wind down. They'll find something else on Monday or Tuesday.
It comes and it goes. The cycle continues.
They're going to be outraged about something, no matter fucking what. Oh, it's obnoxious.
I've done well staying off of X, by the way.
I mean, I feel
I'm
like
not. I'm on here now, obviously, but I'm not.
I only see stuff that like somebody who I like and follow repost and make fun of. I'm not. I think I've trained my algorithm to be fairly sicko free or the site, like I don't, well, I think a lot of them have blocked me too, as I come to find out. When you see somebody repost and you click on it, like, yeah, you're blocked. Oh, good. It's better off.
Dave still doesn't block me at all.
That's funny. That's great. It's weird who he chooses to block and why and when. I'm assuming he's probably just got you muted unless he responds to you. You know what I mean? I assume that he just does. I don't
know. I put the flutes in my thing yesterday.
I try to get into, I don't want to try to get into Dave's head. I'll probably cuss myself and pass out if I tried to get into his fucking brain.
How much money do you think he's made over the years?
Too much, because he's freaking, like, as we've seen, he's pretty much been a, grifter the whole time, for at least from what Cornette and Last have seen in the Dave Meltzer files.
You gotta remember, back in the day, he was the only guy. Him and Wade Keller.
I understand. I'm just saying, but the way he operated and ran business.
Oh, yeah. We didn't know any of that.
Oh, I get you. No, I know. Yeah. You've got to figure, how much was the Observer in the 90s? Because that's what, there's that point in the 90s where he was probably at his highest.
I think I was paying
get his highest.
$7.99, something like that. Okay. $5.99, somewhere there.
What do you think his subscriber count was?
At that point when I was into it, dude, there was a shitload of people. There was a lot.
I'm just thinking, like, at that prime, and I'm not looking at as, like, I'm just thinking of what that he's brought in from it, because I don't know what the hell he spent and, what he does with his money, whatever.
Well, it used to come.
You gotta figure he's at least, because I feel like he's trying to brag that he's rich, and I would feel like he's got to have made probably not $10 million, but I would still say a multi-million. That's,
maybe.
I would just think,
because we used to pay for it and used to come in the mail once a week. And it was typed and stapled in the corner. It was nothing big.
I feel like there was a point that he was considered, to be to have integrity and be a legitimate journalist was probably done.
Yeah,
probably
that's why we got it.
At colleges and stuff too.
That's why we got it.
So I wouldn't actually be surprised when you think about it. Like, he probably did go pay to speak at college and get paid to speak at colleges, but we looked forward to it. We read it, and everyone got a kick out of the fact that he used the wrestlers' real names and The Undertaker, parentheses, Mark Calloway. That was the shit back then. It was cool. Yeah. No, for sure. All right. Well, I'm not sure where Chris.
He's Chris run away.
He's probably.
I'm right here. I'm just listening to you guys.
Just rambling on like goofs that we are.
Some points were made.
Yeah, but what's your take on that? Do you have anything surprising of the ESPN deal? Anything? What else was there?
They just love their stars. WWE is like, star humpers, and now all of a sudden, they get to have like hobnobbing with Stephen A. Smith. You have access to Patrick Mahomes. Hey, guess you might be now doing a tag team in 2026. That's right, Jason and Travis Kelce versus the New Day at WrestleMania.
That would be fun.
They want stars, and ESPN.
They have been on. There was a lot of those going into WrestleMania. They were on. Is it still First Take? Is that the morning show? I haven't watched ESPN in years, but I know they have. You see the clips on YouTube where they're on whatever morning show talking about.
Yeah, First Take comes on second. Then they have Good Morning something first or something.
Okay, yeah, but I've seen them on different things of both, and being able, they were promoting well then. Now as a partnership, I assume it's going to be even more so. Even more featured, and that's cool. That's good for them. It's good publicity. Again, back to what we were talking about with Unreal. It's getting more of those mainstream people in that can look at it now, where it's not just, that silly wrestling thing. It's popular. It's big. It's being presented in front of me. It's easy to access and check out right from what I'm watching here. It makes a lot of sense.
So may I read a tweet that I just saw here real quick?
Sure. Always, my friend. What's up?
From Scarlett Bardot.
I saw that.
My time in WWE has been an incredible ride, and I can truly say it's been the best locker room I've been a part of. These people aren't just coworkers, they're family. I love you all, and I'll deeply miss seeing you every week. To the fans, You've never been just a crowd. You've been our partner in every fight and the reason we give everything for this. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. The next chapter starts now, and I am ready to begin something unforgettable to any stage, anywhere in the world. If you want the smoke show on your show, let's make it happen. Bookings and appearances, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no, I've literally just been scrolling Twitter looking at different stuff that's been posted about him and her and stuff because, yeah, apparently it was his last day of his contract. That's why there wasn't a future endeavors tweet, I guess, then, because there wasn't a release. It was just the end of the contract. That's crazy. They can't go to AEW, though, because Don Callis is there. Come on. That doesn't work.
TNA.
Yeah, it's got to be TNA. It's got to be.
But I mean, they had a fun. I mean, TNA might be cool with him, but is he cool with TNA? Because I could see him going, you guys hired Don Callis in the first place.
What else are you going to do? What else will he do? Chris, go to the Matt Cardona route?
GCW, maybe with New Japan. I mean, I don't know. You're limited because, as I said, AEW is a dumpster fire. Oh, yeah, by the way, Don Callis. Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Oh, there's Scott D'Amore. Oh, that sounds fun. Like he's gonna either have to get creative or go to TNA or I don't know. Because I can't see him just telling Scarlett, yeah, babe, we're going to AEW. Don't worry about Don. He won't say anything.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a specific amount of zeros that can push that away, and maybe something in the contract where Don's got to stay 50 feet away. But I wouldn't see it either. It doesn't make any sense to me. I just still feel like there's part of it because of how much he's a Triple H guy that it's still somehow all going to tie in somewhere with it, which is why TNA would make the most sense. But I don't know. I thought it was a work, so I was.
Yeah, that's where I was just going to go with this. The other problem is everyone's going to think now that everything's a work. Everything's a work. Everything. No, you can't tell it. That's how it gets up with this shit.
You could tell after SummerSlam, even at SummerSlam, that this was the final chapter. Because remember they said at the end, if Sammy loses, he has to say that Kross was right. And if Sammy wins, Kross has to say that he was wrong. They just skipped over that whole part. I mean, we got to the match and almost I'm like, wait a minute here. Nobody said anything. And that's when I was like, oh crap, they're not re-signing him. They're just going to quietly just let him, spire.
Then when he lost the match again to Sammy, I was the same way you were. I'm like, well,
that's really where it started to raise some eyebrows. I'm like, wait, what the hell? I think it was a little weird.
I mean, and even if he's re-signed, where do you put him? Like, I was trying to think about that. You have 53 people on Raw. Who are you sitting? Like, give me somebody that you right now is on the main, let's say, rotation that you're going to sit. Like a Pentagon, Rusev, Finn Balor, Braun Breaker. I mean, he's a heel, so I already have too many heels, and if he's a babyface, you already have a lot. I mean, they need to cut people, like literally, like probably 30 people from both main rosters. Like, start releasing people. We're like, okay, you're either old or there's not. We don't see much of a value. We gotta let people go.
Don't we get that pretty soon? Wasn't it coming up or something?
Yeah, but they'll cut people like BFAB or.
Yeah, they're not gonna cut a top. I know what you're saying, but the other side of the coin is you can't cut a top name. You could. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm trying to present the fans' perspective of this thing. Because you're gonna have. I know what you're saying. It makes perfect sense. It's 100% business decision, and I get it completely. Well, but if you cut a guy like Finn Balor out, then people are going to be like, well, Finn Balor's part of this storyline. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Like, you want Trick Williams to be brought to the main roster. Well, how do you get him on the main roster? How do you give him, like, make sure he doesn't end up like Carmelo Hayes, who's just, I mean, you think, it's bad with Kross. I mean, God damn, Carmelo has done nothing. He's been just sort of like, stop, go. Well, you're in the
I was going to say they've almost, they've gone like a couple of weeks where something happens and then it just dies and it doesn't make
like what they did with Kross. Same fucking thing.
Yeah. So the thing with
stop,
Kross,
go.
The thing with Kross though is I thought that at least it felt like with the online stuff, they were using that on but it was just him doing it apparently. Maybe not. Maybe it's still part of it more. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where it seemed like it was because there was a groundswell with it. And honestly, let's be real. What does TKO and WWE pay the most attention to? The money. So there was the t-shirt sales because that was part of it. I thought they were kind of sprinkling and working with that. And I thought it was going to culminate with him beating Sammy or Sammy turning heel with him or something. And then Sammy just beats him without anything. And it was just like, huh?
That his book is coming out.
Right.
And that MJ was telling me the docu-series dropped
and
today.
I was just
too.
about to bring MJ on for that to talk, because that's what I wanted to cover.
Let's not spoil anything when you bring him on, plees.
Well, we can spoil a little bit because I don't know if everybody's going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it. I'm watching everything now. You got me watching everything, Jake.
Well, I wasn't sure I was going to watch that. Will give us the review of it without too deep of spoilers. But is it worth watching? First off, I haven't seen it yet. And then, that's why this is what I wanted. These were the two main topics to cover here, was the ESPN and this Kross stuff. This all happened, like the Kross thing happened last night when I saw that he got moved to the alumni page. It was just because it almost felt like it was done in secret, but like as an open secret. So I thought it was kind of part of the work. But MJ, what did you think of the documentary?
Well, I have a very detailed report. I took notes. I took notes like a good journalist.
Okay.
Like I have a page of notes. What did I think of it? So apparently it was labeled part 2, and I spent about 10 minutes trying to figure out if I was watching, like where was part 1, before it dawned on me that part 1 was not related to his contract, although I guess I have to go back and watch it. But it was so good, part 2, this one, tonight, was so good that I will go back and watch it, and that's about the best endorsement I can give.
Was part 1 the stuff that he did, that he filmed when they were in Vegas? Because I saw that on his page. That was like 40. It was like a 40-minute thing.
Is it called The Killer? If so, then yes, because this was The Killer part 2.
Okay.
This was incredible. Very raw footage, very recent footage, without spoilers, but things if people are wondering that were hit on. It includes the clip from Paul Heyman, which everyone heard on the Helwani show.
Right.
And it includes audio of the post show at SummerSlam with Triple H ignoring the Kross chants. And I won't say any more about what he says or how they are used. I will just say that it is in there, which tells me that this all got edited and finalized like very quick. It's very raw, but it's very, very, very good.
Okay.
Yeah. And yes, the part 1 is what I was talking about. It's called I'm looking at his page right now. It's called The Killer. Because Vegas is his hometown and WrestleMania was in Vegas. So it's kind of all about him not being on the card and that kind of stuff with it. So this is the part 2 to that, because it is pretty cool. There is a
Logan Paul story related to the Vegas situation, which again, I'm not going to spoil it. Go watch. Watch.
I'm sold.
I want to you said something before I kind of came on here, which made me request to come on because I figured it was appropriate to get into this, but
please.
What are they going to do? Like get rid of him and the fans love him? It is very abundantly clear through both sides, the Heyman comments and this documentary, that they are very aware of the same things. And it's, in my opinion, whether you want to call it a work, a shoot, it's just going to be a matter of timing. And in the meantime, he is going to benefit and she will benefit from drumming up attention by going to all these other promotions. She obviously put out she's going to take bookings, and I'm sure, right? Like, okay, so the time is not now. The time will come, and it will be like a Drew McIntyre, like a Cody Rhodes, that much more meaningful when it happens, and it will probably put him in an echelon of talent in that tier.
That makes sense.
And just
the whole work shoot thing, if I could just say this, because I'm reading my notes here to try to figure out what I can say without spoiling it. The whole work shoot thing, he talks throughout all of it about the dirt sheets, doesn't name them specifically, but talks about media, wrestling media, how people take quotes for clickbait headlines. He talks about the negativity online towards WWE, and yet how that seemingly crosses into fans of his, and he kind of gets labeled as being that internet guy. which in the WWE is seen as a negative, which I thought was very insightful. And I say all this to say, like, whether it's a work or shoot, I think they obviously know what the perception is of they being WWE is aware of the perception of the online fan base and whether they want to give in and whether they don't want to give in. They just gave in on, or they just whatever. I'll say give in, but like they brought back R-Truth.
Right.
Right. So it's like how much, we want to keep them at bay, not let them feel, cause they're not struggling business wise because an online fan base that's like 12 people, as you said, Jake, like, right? Like
Right.
it's so silly. But at the same time,
Yeah.
Kross seemingly is aware that all the clickbait, all the aggregation, all the rumors and speculation and innuendo, like he's aware that that's only boosting his profile.
What's this documentary on, by the way?
His YouTube, he dropped it tonight.
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's the Killer Kross YouTube page. Yeah, just type in Killer Kross. Yeah. It's, the video today is called My Contract Ends Today, and he dropped it like an hour ago. And then the other one is My WrestleMania Weekend ended in a viral moment, and it's 45 minutes. So yeah, between the two of them together, it's 2 hours of stuff. So guess that's what my evening's gonna be.
I mean, I'll say things that you guys will probably end up just seeing on your timelines, but like he talks, there's a Bray Wyatt story and stuff about him. The stuff with the fans was fantastic. He says he actually likes to do media, but like he understands why other people don't want to talk to media because they just twist and turn everything they say.
He seems very personable, doesn't he?
He just seems like a real person that like is not. Yeah. Here's my takeaway after a while. And by the way, I am like not a Karrion Kross fan. Like I have thought he's just a fucking mid-carder for all this time, and like now I watch this, but like that's it. Like I'm hooked. I'm in. Like he just won me over. Like that's it. I mark out for him now. That. It's just like that. Yeah. That's fucking pro wrestling.
It is.
I just realized as I'm saying all this, right? And I'm like, damn, I should clarify. I don't even like the guy. Like as a wrestler. Yeah, no. There you go.
But I mean, it's the thing, like, it's crazy to say, but I can see that there's a part of it in the sense that maybe, I mean, the TNA thing makes so much sense if, like Heyman said, if like Heyman compared him to Austin, he doesn't do that for he could easily go down there, get crazy over and just be like the biggest star there, and maybe they have to have him come back or something with it, or it helps TNA get their TV deal or a Peacock deal or whatever, because TNA is going to do something. We can see they're definitely trying to push that play.
Imagine he shows up in AAA at AAA Mania. Imagine he shows up in TNA and winds up back in NXT by way of the relationship. And like, meanwhile, this whole thing is like, he's just, WWE didn't want to re-sign him. It's like, they want to work with him. Paul Heyman didn't say that for no reason. They want to work with him, but it's timing. And maybe the best thing for his character right now is not to just like, make a random Big Show face turn or John Cena face turn. Maybe the best thing to do is continue to let all this support build so when he comes back it feels normal and organic and not like, hey, we're just giving in to like an online base or the chance in the crowds. Like this is business. This is like doing business.
He shows up at Bound for Glory. That crowd's gonna lose their freaking mind.
For sure.
There.
They even have, I mean, this upcoming Friday, they have their Emergence where it's like a pay-per-view, but not really done through TNA Plus kind of thing where they do them on Friday. And he could show up at that or he could show up at TNA at any different point. But I think AAA Mania might be the smart thing where he shows up there first or something.
Actually,
I mean, that'd be cool.
As I'm thinking about this, that is a WWE, like he would have to have a contract or maybe not, but like it is WWE owned. So
that's true.
TNA she could show up there at at Emergence and he can show up at Bound for Glory. But by the way, everyone in wrestling online is talking about this. So if he shows up there, everyone will talk about TNA. And that's what you want when you're finalizing the TV deal and you're trying to like make that fucking big when you do it.
You just do that. You just do the thing with, you do the thing with Scarlett where she shows up maybe and they tease it for a while, tease it. Don't bring him on. Do like TNA used to always do that way back when they would just, vignettes.
By the way, you might even drum up TNA viewership by doing that, George.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is business.
So much fucking sense. And I mean, obviously, there's no chance of them going to AEW with Don Callis and that whole situation with Scarlett. So
But
you
there's
just
Yeah,
no
think,
way he's going to AEW because
no.
all he did was repeat
yeah,
I wrote this down 7 times that I made in my notes. He keeps saying he wants to finish his career in WWE and he only wants to be in WWE. Sorry, spoiler. But like the
that's
dude said it
That's
7
a
times. I wrote it down.
yeah. With TNA, you can tease it for like 3 to 4 weeks. Then you can bring Scarlett in, then tease him for another right in the bound to go. I'm
yeah. Bound
fantasy
for Glory
booking
is
right off
October
the top of my
12th.
head
Yeah,
here.
You know
yeah.
who
No,
he Sorry, I'm
you're
reading
good.
through these notes and I'll stop talking and let you guys discuss.
You're
I'll come
good, buddy.
down.
No, this is great.
You know who he talks like? John Cena. And here's why I say that. Because there's a part of this where they keep showing footage that they were allowed to film where he's at the WWE Fanatics or he's signing stuff for like whatever, they do the autographs and sign all the
Yeah,
8 by
yeah, yeah.
12s. And he literally says like, I would do this until I croak. It's a privilege to do this. And he talks about like what autographs meant to him as a kid and what fans say they mean. And like, for all we make fun of online wrestling fans and like the terminally online like sickos, there are obviously like so many people that fucking love this shit. I'm marking out for this. I love this shit. Like as like makes me feel like a 10-year-old again. And at the end of the day, like for him to sit there and be like, I would do this till I croak. This is a privilege. Like who's that sound like?
Yeah, Cena said he would do it for free.
Right.
Same
Like
thing. Same thing. Yes.
Yeah,
John Cena is one of the biggest names in all of
Hmm.
entertainment, and he is still doing these meetings with kids and like all that. He is not too big for it. He loves it, and that's all he's ever made his bones on. And Kross saying this, Cody's like that. Like this dude is. I can't believe I actually am coming around to like carrying Kross.
I love
I might
this.
stop talking just because of that. I'm muting myself.
I love it. No, this is
Let me jump
great.
in
This
quick
is
because
great.
this is sort of it's not cross related, but it is in bits. This is for MJ. Like, what do you do going forward, though? Because Joe Hendry's coming into WWE within the next couple of months. That's been confirmed by Kevin Apollo. He's heard that the contract is basically signed. He's going to come in. By the way, you still got Jordan Grace. By the way, you still got um, Blake Monroe. You've signed all these people. You are signing more, NIL kids that you can shake a stick at. It's at 223. Like eventually, and this is going to be, if you thought Kross is bad, like when do they start cutting people like Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, The New Day, who are even more big just because they're looking going, crap, we can't fit everybody. We got 7
Here's
hours of TV time and we get all these friggin' people.
here's the beauty of this. They produce more content than ever. And the more talent that they have that people want to see, the more people will consume that content. And wherever they put that content, whatever new content they come up with, whether it's social media, these docu-series that like, just fucking let the talent go do it, right? At the end of the day, so long as their revenue keeps going up and to the right, they manage this company with talent expenses being of revenue. And as long as the margins and as long as it hits all the financial checkpoints, they can keep affording this. So what I get a kick out of, Chris, are people that like talk down the fact that they talk up the money, because the more they talk up the money, it means the more talent they can sign. And if talent want to go there because they see opportunity to build their profiles, Blake Monroe, all right, she's doing the Maybelline ads. So maybe she personally aspires to like do that kind of stuff in addition to wrestling, not being on the road 365 days a year, putting their bodies through hell. And maybe Kross wants to maybe he just wants to be pushed as a babyface and not as a heel so that he can embrace the online stuff and go make a shit ton of other moves without feeling like he's stepping on toes because he's supposed to be a heel. So I just view this as there is no limit. The limit does not exist. Shout out Lindsay Lohan.
Wow, nice,
Does
nice,
that
MJ.
we can't compare, and I know people want to do this, but you want to compare like the AEW roster and how many talent they have, or whatever. Their revenues outside of TV money are in a decline. And that's why attendance matters, Dave. That's why pay-per-view buys matter. That's why sponsorships matter. Because if your revenue's in a decline, you can't afford 200, 300, 400 talent. If they're going up, and the talent want a piece of the action and want to try to use that platform to elevate themselves all day, every day.
I get
Yeah,
that
no,
part.
that's a good point.
And I'm not saying that WWE doesn't have the money. They can basically buy a third world country with the money they make. It's just you only have X amount of time in a TV show. It's not like you can just, and they don't want to do what AEW does. Oh yeah, let's have 8-on-8 tag team matches. Let's have multiple 6-man tag matches. It is a
The 7-on-7 one.
yeah.
Like
I mean, this is
10-on-10.
a
Yeah.
live action movie. They do. It's sports entertainment. It's not wrestling. It's sports entertainment. You do promos. You do skits. And there's only so much time. And we've seen they've cut people before because they just look and go, there's not enough room. We need to make room for the main roster. We need to cut some people so we can bring Roxanne Perez up. We need to cut some people so we can bring Jake Cargill up. Like,
Who's the last person they cut that was truly like it? That it was like, holy shit, they cut that person? Like, that person was
Nobody.
a feature act. That person was over and drawing money and selling merch. Who's the last one they cut like that?
I mean, that was when they cut Bray Wyatt under Vince, maybe. But even that, like,
Right, you have to go right, and let's talk about under TKO, who's running this as a
100%.
real business.
Jeez, they got rid of Braun Strowman. Oof.
Yeah. Now there were some names there were some names that Chris said, like Rey Mysterio is one of those things I think he's kind of like, but Sheamus, it's one of those things where like we all love the guy or whatever with it, but there are some things where it's like you could kind of see him sunsetting away for different positions and different people that they bring up. Cause
they're all going to fall into the AJ Styles spot where they're going to retire.
They can all go the Edge route. Go wrestle in AEW. Have fun. Like,
yeah, I wonder when those cut, my answer to when those kind of people are going to get cut, it's not so much cut. It's just, are they going to get renewed? You know, like obviously we saw what happened with the whole Truth situation or whatever, but I mean, is there really going to be a fan outrage for Sheamus if he doesn't resign? Like, you know,
no,
you'd be surprised.
You know, that's, yeah,
you'd be surprised. I agree.
You'll never see so many retroactive 5-star matches in your life.
Right. From people that hate it. Now, it's different. I mean, obviously, you know, there's a little bit more times when it's a female talent that you get all the simps coming out for it, like with, you know, whenever those happen with it. But
even them, all right. They cut. By the way, they cut Cora Jade, and the only thing she can do to drum up interest is softcore porn. Like
and say like 37 times
like
a
what?
minute.
Like software? Like
I wish someone would have. I wish someone needs to do a clicker for how many times she said like in that.
My point about saying that they don't cut people that like actually make it or actually like move the needle.
Yeah,
is more so like if talent want to be there and want to try to move the needle, they will go there and be there and do it. As fans, because there's only so many. Like, this is a platform. This is a business. This is more than I don't know. It's.
Yeah, you're coming in and out, MJ.
Yeah, you kind of spazzed out there in the last one. You kind of
yeah, they haven't cut any needle movers, but they've cut people we've looked and went, wait a minute here, this makes sense. Like, you could argue Priscilla Kelly, Indy Hartwell, and Jakara Jackson. They were on Raw. They were being featured. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, we're just cutting people because we need to cut, X amount of people for just roster reasons.
Yeah, but are any of them?
Which is what you want. Which is what you're promoting.
Jordan Grace.
Yeah, which is what you want.
Yeah,
I get that. It's funny that they, to me, you start moving on for people like Natalya, maybe Bayley.
And I agree, and I think I would be shoved down. Natalya is a different situation because she's
Natalya's down there teaching, right?
Yeah, and she's also doing like AAA appearances. She's she's doing GCW stuff. She's more of like an ambassador at this point.
She's the perfect example. Sorry, Jake. She's the perfect example that if you don't want to go the Edge route, WWE will now more than let you go do other things, and they're going to continue to have those relationships. Clearly, they have them with Bloodsport and with.
I was just gonna say, how many people have we seen do Bloodsport now? I mean, I know it's not like a ton, but it's more than we ever would have thought we would have seen before. But I could definitely see certain talents that are getting older that don't have that, or like I think that's kind of why Sheamus is doing his Celtic workout thing so much in his videos on YouTube. Because, I mean, when that contract expires, maybe you can put him on a Legends deal, I guess. But I mean, how often can he? The only story he has left is to try to win the IC title because he hasn't. But I mean, even that's like,
do we want to see that?
if they do a thing in Ireland, yes, go have him win it in Ireland. It'll be awesome. It'll be a great moment, and then he can lose it. Done. Yeah, exactly. And the next week or two back home, he loses it in the U.S. or whatever. It'll be a great story, and kind of like what they did with Edge. Remember, I mean, I would almost have that be his send off like they did with Edge, where it's like he had that match in Toronto with whoever he wanted to, which was Sheamus actually. But have this amazing moment and this awesome send off from WWE, and Edge wanted to go play with kids and break his tib fib.
See, I thought it was a mistake bringing back Rusev. Personally, I didn't get that either.
I really didn't. I really didn't get that either, because what are you gonna do? It's like,
he's only got one guy he can go against, and that's Sheamus.
Yeah. and there's not that much there too. And you love the guy. I just thought he would have been better off doing something in TNA it didn't make any sense for me at all for Rusev to come back, because Rusev Day. Okay, great. But
that's
there's no story there. There's not much.
Yeah. That's where I give Triple H a bit crap. Like, okay, why did you have to re-sign Rusev? Why did you have to re-sign Aleister Black? Why did you have to sign JC Mateo? It's like, you created NXT to be the next group. So when these guys get old or they leave, you have a replacements. And when he brings people back or re-signs them from AEW, it's like you're keeping all these kids, basically bottlenecked. You can't bring them up because you don't have the roster room, but you keep signing guys who you let walk and you have their replacements. What the hell's going on?
No, that's a valid point. I can't really, I mean, unless you're kind of banking on because they're older, they're probably going to get hurt or whatever. But it doesn't really make a lot of sense unless it's like you want them to be more tied to you at the end of their career. I don't really, there's certain parts of that don't make any sense.
Yeah, they're in that stories. They're in that dilemma where you have the best Yankee team and the best Dodger team. Now pick your 9-man roster from those two teams.
It's just kind of like,
okay, good luck.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
I would like to see them do much, much, much more with NXT. Live touring, replace house shows a little bit that went away with smaller scale NXT live events, because you can get talent, a lot of reps there in different crowds, in different settings. I think it would probably help raise the profile. It's obvious that live and touring boost value, so that might help them get a bigger bag from a network, or in pairing with a PLE deal with maybe TNA, like secure a bigger bag. I just think that there's more upside on NXT, and also serves as a place that you can have a lot of talent go work, especially if stuff you do on the road can make its way to social media and become enhanced storytelling, which is something I think they should lean a lot into, telling stories in every medium, not just on TV.
I mean, that's the way people consume media anymore. That's why, like, the TV ratings matter to a point, but most people consume the products just differently now. It's just not the same as it was, and which is why you can see a lot of times where you have pay-per-views or PLEs like SummerSlam Sunday, where it was basically just a collection of moments to put on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, whatever you want to put them on. And that's what they're kind of going for with a lot of that now, which makes sense because that's how people consume the product. I mean, like we said, I wasn't on this. It was when we were on your spaces, MJ, that they're a top 10 YouTube product globally. Like there's no
top 10 brand.
Yeah, there's no other sport that's even in that. I think like the English Premier League is somewhere close, or like the Champions League, but there's nothing that's sports adjacent or sports related that's even close to where they are.
Let me
products consumed.
Let me ask a question about the Kross thing, and then let me make a prediction. And I'm just a stupid wrestling fan on the internet. All right, so my question is, people who criticize WWE for storytelling, okay, when Kross ultimately returns back, do we count this as a form of storytelling, or do we not?
Yes.
Okay. Jake?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Chris?
Yes.
No, because I don't think this is by design. I think they'll get bullied into it.
Okay.
I think the TNA deal makes it all by, I've sold this on. I really think this is part of the plan for, like, with all of it, and you go have him be super successful in TNA so that people that are really into, let's see how many people really are into Kross. Are they going to watch TNA? Maybe not as much on TV because it's hard to find access TV, but put the shit on YouTube. See if they can get a lot of YouTube views. Pump the fucking TNA Plus package or whatever. Like do a 50% off deal for the next 2 months or something with it and promote it on WWE. If that stuff starts happening and we see that connection with it, then I'm 100% with it. It being all part of it. And I hope it is. I think that'd be a really cool way to going about it. And something that would be different and fun and interesting for all fans of different levels. The people that are super into it online, but even the people that are regularly just watching it.
What did people love in the Attitude Era more than anything?
When they thought it was real.
No, well, yes, but
no, I mean like when they thought it was like when
okay, let me piggyback on that. When did it most seem real?
For most people, when they sent down, when they thought they sent down Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, they thought that's what I mean. They knew that the story, like they knew it was wrestling, but that felt like that was real. Like, I don't care, but this other shit's fake, but that shit's real.
Well, so that, yes, was example 1, and then example 2, when the Radicals came in. And when talent was jumping from promotion to promotion in the end in Jericho and in the NWO, when multiple new guys would show up there and it's like, well, they're from WWE, whatever. Like, they're WWF. When you had talent jumping, all of a sudden it was like, this is real. They're changing companies and it is playing out on TV. And if they can manufacture that with a partnership in TNA or with the use of other promotions, if they can manufacture that, boy, what a coup in the modern era of like tabloid dirt sheets and rumors, and they are controlling the discourse in that nature. And I think that's why I would count it as a story, because ultimately I believe, and I think we'll all see, that he'll end up back there. Like, does anyone believe he will never wind up back there now?
No, he's coming back there eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
So all of this is somewhat manufactured to a degree if he ultimately winds up back there. The prediction I have is that he is John Cena's retirement match and John Cena puts him over. And John Cena does the babyface thing and says, I've heard you for a year now chant, we want Kross, and I want Kross, and that's what I want to face.
Shit.
Yeah, right. That sold me. All right.
And by the way, if they put him over John Cena, everybody who says he's been buried, and that's where they were going to, because John Cena wanted it all year, and that's what they've been building this towards, and that's how they bring him back to the company. Like, that's pro wrestling.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
That's great. That'd be great. No.
Anyway, just a fantasy
MJ,
booking mark for you.
I have a question for you, MJ. Do you think, I mean, TNA is looking for a TV deal. Is it that preposterous to think they would just put their show on YouTube?
At this point, if they're serious about a TV deal, I mean, they won't put the show on YouTube because they otherwise can just be on Anthem's access. Anthem owns them.
I understand that, but I can't watch. I'm not paying for TNA. Is it watch the weekly show? Is that what? I don't know how.
Because of the access is like reach, and you have to have cable, and if you don't, and you have to have that channel because it's a niche channel. It's not even part of bundles.
I can't watch TNA weekly. I can't do it.
Fair.
That's a tough question. I thought about it. I asked you.
I think that they're going to get. So it sounds from everything reported and or talked about in places things are talked about. It sounds as if so they're going to get some kind of deal, and now they're aiming. What are they aiming for? $10 million? It's not exactly breaking anyone's bank. It sounds like they're going to get a deal. It's what kind of deal? Where? What's the situation with WWE? Are they involved? Are they not involved in terms of pairing assets? But it sounds like they'll get a deal. So if you get 10 million up front, or if you get 10 million guaranteed versus what you could do on YouTube, I think you take the money and you go from there. And I think the hope is that wherever we land, you won't have the problem you're having, right? People will be able to see it somehow, some way. Again, not everyone will see everything, and that sucks, but the bet is that more people will be able to see it.
Yeah, I would think the YouTube move would be like if they were having trouble getting a deal and you need to do a proof of concept of like, look, we put it on YouTube, how many people can watch or whatever with it.
Jake, I gotta think that TKO sees what AAA is doing on YouTube. I wouldn't.
Well, they're not doing it weekly. right?
Right.
They did it for a big event, and they'll probably do it. They're doing it for essentially PLEs. Now, what I would be very fascinated by is what was the number on Slammiversary, right? Did that get anywhere near 50, 60,000 buys? Did it get 100,000 buys? Like, what are we talking here? Because that would be more of an indicator that, like, hey, there's a paying audience, and if you extrapolate what the reported AEW's paying audience is, there's an easy pathway to get to 500,000 viewers, right? You just kind of, but you need to know what that number is. Like, you need to
How
have
come we
that
haven't heard it
base.
yet? How come we haven't heard a number on their pay-per-view?
I'm just a wrestling fan on the internet. Aren't there people that report on this kind of stuff?
You would think, right?
So. you would hope.
When did that happen?
I'll see what I can do.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it seems like that would be out there.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
July.
I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to some people that talk about things.
And see what
talk
they know.
about things with those people.
Yeah,
people with the stuff. No, because I feel like with TNA, if they could also try to do like where I said earlier, if they try to do like cut the TNA Plus into a price deal or whatever and start advertising that. But I feel like they're in negotiations now, and if they're going well at all, which is what it seems like they are on some level with it, they don't need to. But if they really needed to, the YouTube would be a good move just to show there are people that can watch this through a streamer if we can get onto one. But
they have
the Peacock idea just makes so much sense. What's up?
They have a TNA YouTube channel where you can watch like archive stuff. The live thing is tricky because Access owns them, so they get their revenue through Access. If you give that up, you give up the small amount of revenue you have that you're getting from Access.
Right. Oh, I was just saying only if they were going to try to push for a TV deal as a proof of concept. I think they'll get the TV deal sooner than later and be on something by this fall. I keep the NXT debuted on the CW in October of last year, and October is normally end of September, early October is usually like the fall season or whatever. That's when they do the season premieres of Raw and SmackDown or whatever. And I could see that easily, like TNA's deal being announced for that sooner than later. It'd be interesting though to see. I'm very, very curious.
Hey, wouldn't it be interesting if their library ended up being worth something because it has like a who's who of talent that now litter WWE and AEW? It's like, hey, the Ring of Honor library is worth nothing, but the TNA library is worth something. That'd be fucking hilarious.
So, I mean, somebody paid for the ROH library, but it's not worth it.
Right, but he can't monetize it.
Exactly.
So, MJ, I'm glad you're here because there's a question separate of this I've been dying to ask. The loss that that AEW is going through regarding Michigan, and why do you think, in your opinion, why is it that they do not want this to go state level? Like, why is Tony pushing hard for this to be a federal case rather than a state case?
Yeah, that's weird.
The best explanation I saw was something to do with privacy. I don't know. It's such a fucking stupid thing. Like, just pay the dude money. The problem is, if you pay the guy money, you invite all kinds of hurt because, like, anyone can sue you, right? So,
set the precedent.
But like, this whole thing is stupid. Even the discourse around, like, we're gonna find out Dave Meltzer owns whatever. It's so stupid. None of this is this is just fodder. I'm amazed that AEW continues to have all these non-TV, non-show stories that are way more interesting or way more talked about. I mean, this week alone, you had the lawsuit, you had the Hurt Syndicate. It's all, you have Dax Harwood. You have all this way more interesting shit happening, nothing to do with what the fuck is on TV, but, and I don't think that's intentional.
Yeah, no. Dax's internet crash outs are way more interesting than anything FTR's been involved in.
There's gotta be we gotta do a case study on this one.
It really does.
I mean, this case study has already been ongoing, right? It's just a matter of summarizing it.
Yeah.
I've never seen a guy do this to himself.
How about do this to a company? How about do this to a company? And then the thing I say about the case study being already completed, it's like, you've now watched talent do what they do on their internet, and you've watched AEW's popularity and sentiment decline. There's no more correlation than you need than that. People don't want to be at the shows. People are happy to watch it at home, but they're not happy to like pay for the pay-per-views. Like that's their own fans that are admitting this. Like there's just something fucking rotten at the core of what's going on, and it's an online based company. It's an eFed come to life.
And say what you want about JD. He's got a crap load of followers, and going after him probably isn't a good move.
I've been saying it for a year. You basically made an enemy out of the guy who has more interest, right? He's doing a 4-hour show about your 2-hour show, and he's getting, thousands and thousands. He's an influencer. He's an IWC influencer.
Yes.
All right. And if you couldn't be that stupid to be like, hey, this guy is the most listened to guy in the space that we try to attract fans, and we're going to make an enemy out of him.
He's literally the loudest guy in the room.
He had 8,000 in his live chat the other night.
Jesus.
Oh.
Now, there could be a lot. This isn't like a JD podcast, but like there could be a lot that could be said about what his whole thing is. But my point about he is what he is. And AEW has chosen to basically make an enemy out of this person that is influencing what would amount to being like 15, 20% increase in viewership. Yeah, and they're tuning into him afterwards to hear him shit on something that I guarantee 50+% are not watching.
Oh yeah.
I'm one of them, by the way. I don't watch the show anymore. I rather just listen to post wrestling, review it and glaze it. And I rather listen to JD shit on it, and I'll decide for myself where it's at.
Yeah. I see clips on X. Like I'll watch it sometimes if I'm going to be on something and review it or whatever. But usually I know what I need to know from clips on X, and then I'll listen to like Cornette and Last review it and laugh at them laughing at it. Cause that's, you get enough out of it.
But you can't go after a guy like that. I just don't. I thought it was a bad. Then I saw his last post where he's like, "You associate with guys like this?"
Yeah, no,
Dax, what the hell are you doing?
Dax took a picture with the fan. He had a T-shirt made which had something making fun of.
Yes, that was a while back. That's stupid.
Again. Still, exactly. That's just how
you're right.
in your head
right.
he is. Like, yeah, it's all part of it. No, the tweet recently was the one to Baron Corbin. I saw that too. Just so asinine. Like. That's how in your head he is. It shouldn't matter.
Well, Ricochet, Dustin Rhodes, obviously the Young Bucks and their block spree, and those were people that like, I always say this, right? The Young Bucks of being the elite would super kick the shit out of themselves right now and be like, what have you become and why'd you ruin your fan base?
Yeah.
Like,
at least it seems like Ricochet has maybe learned a lesson. He's kind of laid low for a little bit. He doesn't go after JD anymore. I've noticed that.
Well, it sounds like there's one person that if you engage with them,
designated hitter.
No. If you engage with them, you seemingly get a letter from the boss saying, "Please don't do this."
Mm-hmm.
And I think no names, but it does appear that whether you're Dave or whether you're Ricochet, you mess with this person, you get a letter, a cease and desist letter for BTE fans out there.
Oh man.
I don't know how to answer your question, George, why they want a federal. Like, I'm not a lawyer. The best I heard was privacy. Sorry. That was, whose question?
That was mine. I apologize.
Oh, my bad, Chris. I wasn't looking at the phone until I was speaking. I'm not a lawyer. My understanding is privacy might have something to do with it. Do they think they get a better favorable ruling? I don't know. Like, it's always a thing with these guys. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
conspiracy
they
theory.
Don't have the most crack legal team, so maybe it's just their legal team making stupid decisions.
Well, there's also this thing that if you file, they have money to burn and they can outspend this guy who's suing them.
This is where I'm going.
And there's like a chance that they're just making him jump through hoops and delaying and having him rack up lawyer fees that it's cause it can't be pro bono like the JG thing. So I don't even know if that's pro bono, but.
In state court, they can't be bought. The cons can't buy a state court, but they can buy a federal court.
I'm curious
think about it for a minute. That's actually true.
It's a valid point. No, you got to.
There's a reality to the American system right now, and they are billionaires. So let's not. And I also think that's why they don't want it disclosed how this company is actually structured, because of the embarrassment of being billionaires, and everyone kind of finding out that they're just like everyone else. But yeah, I mean, I think that's also part of it, right? Is like they're doing billionaire shit. So,
that's why I think they are going to stay, because I think Tony doesn't own the company at all. I think it's his father who owns it. He's put through this little trust. So if they find out, it's Daddy who owns it, That guy's gonna now, back up the Brinks truck. I'm suing.
People seem to know that already, though, don't they?
But there's no
Like
Yeah,
Dad
but they don't
owns
want
it.
A few
It's
years
like
ago,
we know, but
it's
we
like
can't
it's like a
prove it.
known it's like a known unknown, like we all know it, but it's not actually known. Like if it's on paper and like put in legal documents, then it's a known and people know that shit.
Yeah, like George, we know that Al Capone killed those people during the Valentine's Day massacre. We can't prove it, but we know
Right,
it. So,
yeah.
Makes sense.
So we got to but we can prove the tax evasion, so that's what we get him on. Yeah, no, but if you put that in court, yeah, because that's oof, man.
by the way,
I mean,
it's an ugly. You're joking about Al Capone and tax evasion, but like, if like there are some facts that people can find out for themselves, and can I spoil this, George? Can I spoil this one?
Go ahead. Go.
Yes.
So like, AEW LLC is owned by Beatnik LLC, and Beatnik LLC is a company that it's an LLC the Khan's structured, and they bankrupt the Black News Network as part of it. There's trusts involved. All of this stuff has their own tax identities. If you don't think that they're just running a shell corp or doing stuff that like billionaires do with like small time investments like this wrestling company to avoid paying their fair share of taxes to steal from Bernie Sanders, but like the reality is they're minimizing their tax bill. They're minimizing their, and like I've said before publicly, like, wouldn't shock me if they are running this company for a loss because that's beneficial to them.
Yes.
Who's it hurting?
Oh, for sure.
Right? I mean, it could potentially be hurting talent. It could potentially be hurting staff. Maybe you're not getting the bonuses and the raises you expected at Christmas, but like the Khans structured all of this into LLCs owned by trusts. This is all stuff that's been filed at the state level. You don't have to go very far to find it. Type in Beatnik LLC plus filings and you will find what, the previous member organizations were. And it's trusts of the Khan kids. Like, it's just billionaires.
Right, it's him and his sister, right? Yeah, that's
So, like, at the end of the day, look at their fan base, and they're scared of their fan base to talk about Hogan. What do you think you don't think they're going to be embarrassed to be like, yeah, sorry, like, we're, those billionaires in Greenwich you hate? Yeah, we're just those billionaires in Jacksonville taking government money to build hotels.
Yeah, same stuff. Same game, different people.
Which is another reason why the freaking,
I mean, here's a story about the Khans, right? Basically, in order to secure enough funding for a project that they were then going to run and manage and get a government subsidy to do, all right, there needed to be enough charitable donations made to some museums and shit that were going to all be part of this project. And so the Khans donated in like the 12th hour the amount they needed to donate to make sure that hit its goal so that they can get however many tens of millions of dollars to fund a project that they will end up making more money on. Like, that's billionaire shit. It's not illegal. Right. It's what they do. It's like,
right. Yeah,
exactly.
You want to talk about government, site fees. Let's talk about like government handouts for building hotels that you'll make money on because that's the Khans, but they don't want that stuff out there. And nobody wants to go talk about that because it'll make AEW look like another fucking company from New York.
Yep. They all do it. They all play the game.
Right. Exactly. And then and clearly Shad's played it very well for a long time. He knows what he's doing.
What is he? If you look up richest people in the world,
he's up there. He's not.
I don't know what
he's 12 billion, I think. 12. I think 12.
13.4.
Damn it.
So he's made more.
And
it was 12 last time you checked, George. It's gone up.
Khan is
doing billionaire shit.
As of April, Khan is the 175th richest man, which sounds like nothing, right? Until you realize in the world.
Right, until you realize there's 8 billion people on the goddamn planet. And that's billion with a B. Motherfucker.
There are 174 people that are richer than Shad Khan.
Jesus.
Like, who are we? Yeah, I mean,
Chris,
I don't know why they wanted it in federal court, but there's your answer therein.
And that is just the reason why Tony has never been a real person. You can't grow up that rich and be just a normal person. Like,
and you can't blame him for that either.
I was just about to say it's not his fault at all. Like, you just because even if your parents like tell people to treat him like they're just not. It's just human nature. People are going to treat him like that. Jesus Christ.
Do people realize how silly, let me ask you guys, right? You ever stop and think how silly it is that he took an eFed and turned it into this company because he actually could? And it's like we all played Sims and or whatever, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and we increased the budget to infinity so we can build the sickest park.
Yeah.
But this kid just took his fucking internet hobby and said, oh, I could actually do it.
It's mine.
It's kind of crazy.
My best friend and I used to fucking play, grab the lowest division team we could in FIFA and build them up to win the Champions League in 10 years and because we could. It was fun.
I bet you built a better team than he does.
Probably.
But he actually is doing it. What are this dude is so, there were so many red flags.
Yeah, but like Jake was talking about earlier, can you imagine a Shad Cod coming to his Little League baseball coach? Treat him like just everybody else. You don't play him as, right field, wherever. I'm sure he was.
You've seen him hold a cup of water? He didn't play sports growing up.
Or just even
he probably played Little League, I gotta think, right?
I doubt it.
If
you've seen the recent interview with Barstool, you know what I'm talking about. He holds a cup of water. He looks dumber than Donald Trump.
He's got those funky ass glasses now too. Those are cool.
Yeah, real GQ of him. Went to Cannes and or Cons or whatever. You couldn't pronounce it.
Oh God, that guy. Oh yeah, no, that was cute.
By the way, it's cool that he did what he did. It's just going exactly how you expect it would in season 6 of that FIFA league that you maybe I've done too much of this or something. I don't know.
Yes. Well, and because being a spoiled rich kid, he just thinks he can do everything right. If he set it all up and then let other people run it and tried to learn and figure it out and get better with it, but just no, I did this on the internet so I can be fully in charge. It's my company. It's my thing. He's run into the fucking ground.
He's so embarrassed to be perceived as someone that didn't do a good job or have that be said on the internet that he actually won't step away, even though he probably is fuck this shit.
Yeah, I think someone said one time that they're just going to show up for work and Tony's not going to be there one day and it's just going to be closed.
I mean, the effort he's putting into some of this stuff is so mediocrity at best that I don't get the sense he really wants to be doing this anymore.
So it wouldn't surprise you, if you showed up for work and he was just tired of it and just didn't show up one day and that's it, done.
He
on to something else.
He rage quits his eFed. That's what happened.
They're pushing Mark Briscoe as this top star. And Mark Briscoe was a top tag team wrestler in ROH. And ROH is Glory, which really, it folded. So, I mean, I just don't know what he's doing. You've made no new stars. You've made nothing. You're just going back to ROH from 15 years ago and taking Mark Briscoe as a top guy. Yeah. It's lazy. It's nothing. They're not even trying.
Yeah.
It's lazy and that time is gone.
Right, exactly. That's why it's lazy.
And it's laziness across the board. Look what they do with everything you see about the Jaguars and everything you see about Fulham. No players really want to play for them. Their amenities are shit. They do the cheapest versions possible of however they treat the families, the equipment for the players. What was it? Was it Trevor Lawrence that got hurt and they didn't have the golf cart? I always make the joke that it was still chasing Sammy Guevara in the fucking football.
They're also rated quite high in some spots too, though. When you look at the survey's done by the NFLPA and it's an anonymous survey to the teams. So they rate their own teams. Jacksonville has some high points, but the ones that when people focus on is the family oriented stuff. They don't bring their families with them on the road and shit like that. So, stuff the players care about.
I just feel everything you see that they're poor on, it's just because they're being cheap with it. From what it seems like to me, you could easily do some of these things if you just invested more into it. But
I think
even though there's the 175th richest man on the earth, might as well still be cheap, and he probably doesn't tip 20%.
Well, they're not the only NFL team that does that. So
I'm sure not. Wait, other billionaires are cheap bastards, dude? No way.
Well,
not sure they are, but it's just something that nobody talks about. You look at most of the NFL owners, and their kids are team presidents, CEOs. Tony's none of that. He is the chief football strategy officer, whatever the hell that is.
Which means nothing in the NFL. It means nothing.
You look at the Colts owners, and Jim Irsay passed away. His daughters have taken over. They were all CEOs. They all ran departments. They don't trust Tony. I mean, that's why he's at AEW, because they do not trust him to do anything in Jacksonville or Fulham. It's like,
nor will he.
Run anything.
Yeah. No, I mean, that he gets all excited because he helps bring on like the 53rd man to the roster, basically the team's version of Mr. Irrelevant,
which never happens either. Which is the
right,
story.
exactly.
The story. He just goes after. He just goes after
the NFL equivalent of hologram.
Pretty much. He goes after non-drafted free agents, signs them to a contract, and hopes they make the team. They never make. Once in a while, they may actually made the team, like 1 out of 9 seasons or something. It doesn't happen.
Right. He's hoping that he somehow has found, like, the next Kurt Warner, who was bagging groceries. Your fucking Tom Brady
happen all
in the 6th round.
Exactly.
Like, it happens once a decade, maybe, and there's a great story behind it. But see, just like with wrestling, he sees that one story and thinks he's one part of it and thinks he can do it, and doesn't realize the entire backstory behind it, that it's built so much to it. Like,
I will give Jacksonville credit for one thing, though. They drafted the kicker from Arkansas down here, Cam Little.
Oh, the guy who kicked the
70-yard goal yesterday. Yep, he's our guy down here. Woo.
Yeah. No, I did see that. Which, I mean, hey, for Jacksonville, that actually makes sense, because I feel like if any team needs to have a good punter and kicker, it's probably Jacksonville. You're going to be kicking a lot of field goals there, Haas.
I was impressed. Caught my attention yesterday.
No, that's funny. That's good. No, but here, we've just been rambling on here for so long. Here, let me bring in, we have a few people that wanted to talk and ask questions here. I'll bring in, I know D wanted to talk and Sam wanted to talk.
Yeah, get it in now, because we're only going to go another half hour, so.
Yeah, we'll go a little bit longer for sure, but we'll bring some people in. If anybody else wants to speak, just ask for it. But yeah, I knew that we were covering, I knew the ESPN would be at least some of the topic, but I knew we would all kind of be in the same mindset. But that was fun talking about Kross. I really want to watch the second documentary. I gotta watch the first one again. I watched it the day after Mania. Whoa. Who's driving a car?
Not me.
I'm just kidding, Sam. You're good. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I was going to say, not me. I'm nearly legally blind. Anyway, so there's my self-effacing humor for the night. I'm doing fine. Yeah, I mean, I've actually been out of the IWC most of the day because I've been watching preseason football. So
it's better to stay away from it. I like to try to like dip in sometimes. I just knew, like, the last thing I saw before I went to sleep last night was that Kross was moved to the alumni page. I was just like, I felt like going back to the IWC, it was going to be like that episode of Community where Donald Glover walks in and everything's on fire and he just brought in the pizza. Like, oh, fuck. That's really how I thought. And when I logged on this morning, that's what it was. So, it was pretty it was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Everyone in the IWC is like Donald Glover in Community after he just met LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
Just with their eyes wide open. Yeah, I mean, so like, I've been basically ambivalent about every, major hot take topic this whole week, because like, I'm too poor to afford, even a Peacock subscription. I'm usually using my buddy's Peacock account to watch pay-per-views, so I wouldn't be able to pay for that anyway. Plus, I mean, I don't really care about, like, I don't want to get outraged about that shit because it doesn't really matter.
Well, it's people getting outraged in a capitalist society about a company making money just is, I don't know. And I feel like it was, and I don't think there was really any real outrage, essentially. I think it was just the people that want to stir up shit or the people that want to complain about things. Just like, I mean, if you go back and look at everybody who was complaining about the price hike and go back to Sunday night / Monday, they were also the same people calling Brock, and SA and everything else. You know what I mean? And like getting those facts wrong too, though, because they don't actually care. And most of them immediately just assumed or wanted to assume that it was going to be the old UFC model, that you were going to be paying $30 a month, and they were just going to go back to the old pay-per-view pricing like it was before the network. And it's like we were any company was going to be like, yeah, they'll pay $50 again for the pay-per-views. It just, come on, people. And also these are the same people that are paying $50 a month. Well, I should be paying $50 a month for their favorite company's pay-per-view. Let's be real. We know most of them are probably on the pirate ship or using a VPN. GRMAT.
Jesse! Just saying, not to mention certain co-hosts of JD from New York. Anyway, complaining about the ESPN deal while getting outed for streaming AEW, for using a VPN for AEW pay-per-views. Anyway.
Or not even a VPN. Not even a VPN. Sorry.
He never mentioned VPN. We'll end the story there.
I didn't hear. Perfect.
I'll fill you in afterwards.
Perfect. Good. See, this is why we're good, because we don't both of us pay attention to enough things. We don't have to pay attention to everything.
But I mean, other than the IWC shit, I mean, I enjoyed Raw for what it was. You know, I did a watch along with Corey, and I like what I see. You know, I like that they have Drew getting involved, and in the main event scene with Cody, and
oh Jesus, yeah, he kicked the crap out of Cody at the end there. That was insane.
Yeah,
I love Drew though. I feel like Drew. I mean, I can't even think of how far back, but like Drew McIntyre do no wrong, right? Like you said, it's great to see him back in the main event scene because he's just great no matter what he's doing. If he's being a dick, if he's being funny, if he's kicking somebody's ass, like, I don't know, man. He's just, it's hard not to think of him as one of the best wrestlers of the year for for pretty much of the decade. He might be WWE's MVP of 2020 to now.
Well, and the thing about Drew is there's always a bit of me that really starts to agree with him and vibe with him. But like a good heel always does, he always goes too far with it and gets preachy. And then it's like, oh yeah, you're supposed to be a dick. I'm not supposed to like you.
Hey, Sam, I'm going to interrupt real quick. If y'all like what you're listening to, go to youtube.com / @AltJakeTakesOn. Subscribe over there. It costs nothing. And next week on Spaces, we'll have Robert from the Wrestling Old Head joining us. So,
yeah, you can copy it right from the title of the Spaces that I try to put in there, or go to either George or my profile, either in the description, in the channel thing. You can click on us right there and subscribe. It's very simple. I'll announce that too. So for our next classic match review, George, I was trying to think of. I had another one in mind, but since this will be the first one we've done since the passing of Hulk Hogan, I feel like WrestleMania 18, Hogan versus Rock would probably be a good one to watch. That's probably, because there's some other, like, obviously there's other classic Hogan matches, but that was the one that, like, I was really alive for and a fan of. And I was like, we've talked about before with Hogan. That was the one of the first times for me as a fan watching of like, wow, this is a moment.
I don't even get to watch that again. I watched it last week.
Nice. Awesome. I was going to, and I didn't for whatever reason, but I wrote it down. But yeah, good. Yeah, good little show promotion. That'll be our next classic match review. And and also too, if you guys came into this Spaces later and they want to hear the rest of it, I'm recording this and I'll have it posted I'll have the full thing posted to the YouTube page by the end of the night, and I'll post clips of it throughout the week.
Yeah. I will be tuning in.
We love you, Sam. We appreciate it.
Anybody else wish to speak?
Yeah, I approved D for it, but if she wants to pop on, we can all just keep talking about whatever else. I forgot about the end of SmackDown because I went out on Friday with the family, so I watched it Saturday morning. But it was a good show. But I wonder if, like, is that how they're gonna write Cody off so he can go film some of that movie for a bit? How much is he in the movie? I don't know. Like, I mean, I know he's playing.
You're not gonna know that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, is it like a major role or? I'm interested in it.
Doesn't matter. You're on the set and you gotta do your thing anyway.
Right? Yeah. That's a very valid point. But no, I just felt like this was kind of like that transition period where they're setting themselves up for the Clash in Paris show, which should be fun. I
worry about the crowd.
Well, Paris is going to be different than Lyon in the sense, but I mean,
We're gonna do that same shit and sing all the time and do their soccer bullshit.
it doesn't bother me.
Mr. George.
No shit, Jake. It doesn't bother the soccer fan. I don't really care either. I kind of like that.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I mean,
FIFA
yeah.
energy.
It's good for the
better
first
than
5 minutes of the
fucking-
show, then it gets on my nerves real quick.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
It's better than the fucking smart crowds back in the early 2010s trying to hijack shows and
Or even
like,
sometimes
chant for
you
Chris
saw that with
Benoit.
or like the WrestleMania crowd. Sometimes will do that. Not so much the actual crowd of Mania, but like the crowds at like the Raw and SmackDowns around Mania. They just sometimes will do different weird things with it. I'd rather, yeah. I'm wondering though. I feel like it's gonna be one way. I feel like they're either gonna maybe be not as crazy because they've been doing more European shows, or they're gonna be like screw this and go extra crazy and really piss George off. But but George went at the live stream and that's okay. Be funny. No, hey, I mean, it'll
You guys
it'll be
know.
Hey, what's up, D?
Hey guys, you guys know that their crowd is lit more than United States crowd is. Don't be hating on it,
But it's
George.
just also a different.
You
It's a
being
completely
hater.
different. They're more lit, but it's also a completely different world because I mean, it's part of the entire culture out there. Cause I mean, we joke and say like of soccer or whatever, but like that is the number one sport across Europe and every fan base sings. Like it's a thing that they do. And then some of the songs are really quite funny, honestly, where they'll make up things that are about players.
Yeah, for soccer, which is fine. I'm good with that. I don't want it in my wrestling.
Well, the problem with the wrestling ones is they're
too.
too basic though. They just do the same thing. What they need to do is make up songs about where there's lyrics to it, where you're like, where it's funny and you have to laugh, as opposed to just saying the person's name 700 times. That's a bit annoying. I'll give you that.
And the best thing is about it is that they know what they're doing, how to boo or cheer. You can tell that they know what they're doing when it comes to the wrestling part. When they cheer and boo.
And also for the price they're paying, they're allowed to be what they want to because those tickets are.
Like I said, I'll give them the first 10 minutes and you're good.
Yeah, that's fair. How many? Are they doing I mean, I know they're doing like a decent European tour. How many shows? I wonder are like a SmackDowns or Raws are going to be from there again?
I don't think it's very extensive.
Right. I would feel like there's probably only going to be like one. Like I would think it would be the SmackDown before would be filmed there because so then you have stuff set up because I feel like after the show you could just get out. But
yeah, I think they're just there for this. I think they're just there for the weekend.
No, because I know they're doing something with it. Because isn't it?
They're doing it.
Isn't Forbidden Door like around that time? And I think they're going beforehand because isn't Forbidden Door the weekend before and WWE's doing a house show in England or something? I feel like that's a thing. I could be wrong.
No, the Clash of Paris is the same day as Forbidden Door. They're going head with the Clash of Paris and the Forbidden Door.
No, I just know that because Forbidden Door is in London. I think it's separate weekends. I think
and the Clash is in Paris.
Right. And so I'm saying the weekend, but I think they're separate weekends, but WWE's in England the same weekend as Clash in Paris. I'm 90% sure.
What?
Which, I mean, you can't play. Yeah, I'm pretty positive. I think they're like in Manchester or whatever, not in London, but I mean, I think that's where it works. Let's see. What's Forbidden Door 2025 date? And we will look up Clash in Paris. All right. So Forbidden Door is August 24th and Clash in Paris is August 31st. So they're separate weekends. But WWE is definitely doing house shows in England on the 24th. I know that for sure.
Okay, good. Everybody knows.
England. Yep. And I mean, I still, you can't blame. It's funny how people try to get pissed about it, but it's like they wanted to be the challenger brand, so this is what you get. I don't feel I can't feel bad for him about it. It's just
yeah.
No.
Well, I think we've tapped out the crowd.
Have we? All right.
Seems like it.
Oh wait, hang on. Nope, I got some requests. What do we got here? Now we got Rabid Wolverine.
Rabid's got
we got Rabid coming in. What's up, Rabid? How you doing, buddy?
No, he's not. How are you, sir?
Good. And actually, for the Forbidden Door, the Forbidden Door shirt is actually going to be NXT Heatwave in that day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
NXT
Yeah,
gives
that makes sense. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And
But WWE
and
is in, they're doing shows in Manchester, like August 23rd and 24th. They're doing shows in the UK. But yeah, NXT will be on the actual televised show, which is good. I feel like NXT is the biggest comparison.
Let Rabbit finish this thought here. Go ahead, bud.
Also, I have another question before I look. You know, they could paying $30 for it on ESPN. I have YouTube TV. YouTube TV. You will let me don't pay $30 for the ESPN?
No, you're free. You're with me. You'll get it. You'll get it with your package. You're with me, buddy.
Oh, okay.
You're fine.
Just
if you're paying for TV,
YouTube TV is part of the package, so you're fine.
Yeah, because since they made the announcement, I was confused. Like
you and me both.
The rest of the week.
you too, and almost everybody else. It isn't so much that they didn't make the announcement; it's that the announcement was a bunch of gibberish when you think of what actually they're doing, and then you see how they announced it. But I mean, that's where you get a bunch of people in a room writing something together, or a marketing team of like using their buzzwords. They got all they would have
just had to say, if you have a TV package now, chances are you're covered. No got to worry about paying shit.
If you're paying for cable or you're paying for television, you're gonna be fine. Lead with that. But I swear they had to get all their buzzwords in there. You know, it's like an interview with Nick Khan. He's got to get his flywheel and his robusted and
I do like
synergy. No, it's funny. Every time I know I'm not, but every time I watch a Nick Khan interview, I feel like I'm getting smarter. I'm not, clearly, but I can also see why he's a great businessman and great in meetings and negotiations.
It's the best single hire by Vince McMahon in the history of WWF/WWE.
Yes, I can confirm. Yeah, he has been the biggest single turnaround for that company. And the main driver of the reason where they are now and how mainstream things are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, we also have a Lifetime of Wrestling coming in asking to speak. But who else wants to speak? Come on, everybody. We'll hang out. Having fun. Oh,
I hang out to the top. I hang out to the top of the hour only.
Right. I was going to say,
because we got to cut this all up. So let's not think it's a free for all.
Some people got to go to bed and some people got to make dinner. It all works. No, this was fun though. Here's some good topics of it. That Karrion Kross stuff is definitely interesting. I'm very curious as to where that plays out. And if it is I really, really hope it's part of the TNA deal of what Tony tried to do 2 different times by putting the Ring of Honor title on Chris Jericho to get them a TV deal. But he only tried it with one company. He didn't try to actually shop it out, but whatever.
Yeah, we've learned a lesson now. You just let things play out.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh, that's the number one. I mean, how many people, I was actually on MJ Spaces, on Wednesday this week when Julian Weeks was on with us. And that was like the number one thing he said with anything, whether it's a storyline or like a starting of a story, whatever, just take a breath, let it play out.
It doesn't happen.
No.
I got news for you. It's not just in wrestling either.
No.
It's the whole society. I'm going to sound like the old man, but I'm going to take it. I'm good with it.
It's
amazing.
One of those situations where people, that's the world they want to. They want to know everybody. At some point, it switched where people would rather be first than right. And
dude, you watch even when there's like a news flash with that shooting in Atlanta or whatever, people jump online and say all sorts of weird shit. The New York City one was the one where the kid got caught, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was so much misinformation right off the start. I'm like, what the hell? It's amazing to watch this shit in real time take place.
It's nuts. People are insane. No, it's good. They would just rather, and then with the IWC, nobody's got, and I mean, in the regular world, there's just nobody has, not even just like a little bit of patience, just not immediately. Like that's with the ESPN deal. People saw ESPN and were like, oh, it's going to be the UFC deal. Rah,
which is fine. Again, that's on them for releasing it terribly.
Well, I'm just talking about when people just saw the headline, though.
Right, but I can understand that. I understand that.
I just think
but then automatically,
as opposed to freaking
I thought
out
the same thing, Jake.
I know, but you didn't go posting about it.
I don't post anything. I hate posting stuff.
Thinking is one thing. But you thought about it and then you looked into it. I'm talking about people where they don't think. They go, and then they write an article about it or whatever they do.
And if I do post something, I get reported for something that I didn't do. That's for one person only in this whole chat, so hell no.
I know. I understand. Yeah, no, the internet is a very strange place. People getting reported
it's 2025, folks. Enjoy.
It is.
Enjoy the ride.
So, some people get randomly blocked because of a Twitter glitch.
Or sometimes you randomly are no longer following something. I've had that happen before where like I'll click on somebody's whatever it is, like, and then the little like white follow thing comes up. I'm like, am I no longer following this person?
Yeah, it's
weird.
Just weird stuff happens.
Yeah. And then Grok randomly totally cooks Vince Russo in his own shit. I don't know if you guys saw that, but somebody asked it to analyze Vince Russo's page for like integrity or a bunch. And it was just like, no, he double speaks. He only promotes himself. He hates everything that he's not a part of, but he wants a job at WWE. Like it just roasted him off of his own tweets. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. And I really hope Jim Cornette saw it because I really want him and Brian to read that on the air because that will be one of the funniest segments in the history of that show.
They won't see that.
Oh no, they will because Jace Nacarado knows comedy and he will get that joke. Plus, it was on Jim Cornette's thread.
That doesn't matter. Jim Cornette's thread, you can put "fuck you" over the top, but he never sees it.
He brings up his. I will put money on it that they'll bring that one up. Either
I'll put
a couple episodes.
I'll put it down.
All right,
just for fun.
What is it? The Simpsons where because Smithers, I owe you a Coke. Yeah, no, that's it. All right.
No, the Eddie Murphy movie. The Eddie Murphy movie where they bet the dollar they could change them. Trading places.
Yeah.
So,
all right, we're talking movies now. Let's get out of here unless somebody else got some wrestling talk.
Right. All right. No, that's a good place to wrap it up here. Like George said earlier, if you like what you hear, you just want to support us in any way you can, just go to our page, subscribe, share it with your friends. That's the biggest thing. The more subscribers that we can get, more people watch our stuff and share our stuff, the more we can do this kind of stuff. So thanks everybody for hanging out.
Next week, the old wrestling head will be here.
Wrestling old head.
Wrestling old head, wrestling new head, whatever the one you want.
Well, yeah, it's funny. He's old. He says old head, but he's younger than both of us.
But Robert will be here to join us. So.
Yeah, 8:05 p.m. Eastern time next Sunday. We will catch you then. Peace, everybody.